Hello and welcome back to the Champions League Challenge on Football Manager 2022, where we are in charge of Steaua Bucharest in the top tier of Romania. Now, after the disappointment of missing out on the European places playoff by just 3 points last season, we head into Season 7 with Steaua with a slight change to the format of the episodes. So from today's episode, we'll be doing one season per episode. I'll bring you all the major happenings and key moments of each season, then when the time hopefully comes that we start to make the latter stages of the Champions League, the live comms will return. Now, before we get into what happened this season, I did say at the end of last episode that I'd let you know who won the league, and I can confirm it was FCSB. They completed the domestic double, winning the league for the first time in 3 seasons. Now for a rundown of what happened in our 2027-28 season in charge of Steaua Bucharest. We were very busy in the summer transfer window as we saw 11 players leave on permanent transfers and 8 new players join us. Long-time club servants Claudiu Danos and Julian Bedea left us after 6 seasons. Danos wasn't going to live up to his potential and moved to Liga 3 side Ottolul Galati for £65,000, whereas Bedea was decreasing in ability and was sold to freshly relegated Liga 2 side Concordia Chiajna for £100,000. After 4 seasons with the club, striker Milos Kukoc moved to fellow Liga 1 side Voluntari for £225k, as his ability also seemed to be decreasing. Federico Marchesi, Tafari Moore and Alexander Kessler moves on to Portuguese side Estrela de Amadora and Romanian sides Viitorul Panduri Targu Giu and FC Arges respectively for a combined total of 635k. And after 1 season at Steaua, both Nicolas Popescu and Gabriel Plumbuitu moved on to Liga 2 side Afimati and Liga 3's Dacia Unarea Braila for a combined total of 95k. Youngsters Cesar Craiu, George Contra and Catalin Kokos also moved on to Liga 3's Somus Faltacini, Unarea Dej and Aerostar Bacau for a combined total of £87.5 thousand, making our total raised from sales a massive £1.3 million. Unfortunately, all of that £1.3 million was not added to our transfer budget as we were given a £191,000 budget for the season. Now, I've already mentioned the signings of Andrei Moldovan at centre-back, Juris Medakovic at right wing and Mati Sabula at centre-back on end of contract deals last episode. However, we did make some other signings. The first of which was a subscribe button, signed on a free transfer from your finger on a long-term deal. The real first signing was Portuguese central midfielder Rafael Pereira for £62,000 from Portuguese Liga 3 side Real. Pereira didn't play as often as I'd hoped he would this season due to a few injuries, but was solid enough when he was called upon as a box-to-box midfielder. Centre mid has been an area we've really struggled to get quality players in, so we took advantage of another one being available with our next signing just 2 days later, as Dutchman Nick Twisk signed for £83,000 from Eredivisie side AZ Alkmaar. Twisk immediately became a key player for us, playing in the ball-winning midfielder role with his well-rounded physical attributes, along with his great first touch and good passing and tackling. When it was clear that backup left winger Alexander Kessler was going to be moved on, I set about finding a replacement and came across Ion Ciupercha, who was available to loan from fellow Liga 1 side Sepsi for the season. Ciupercha became one of our players of the season with 18 goal involvements across the season, including 10 goals. He was awarded the Young Player of the Season award at the end of the season too. I still felt we needed another option in centre mid, so we loaned Romanian under-21 international Claudiu Dragan from CFR Cluj for the season, and he was solid when playing in the deep line playmaker role, but he could have ideally had a few more goal involvements. Our final signing of the summer transfer window came at the end of August as we hurriedly searched for a replacement for Milos Kukoc, and the man we found was Senegal under-23 international Ahmed Diatta, a man with great physical attributes and 16 finishing. He'd been plying his trade for Senegalese side ASC Jarrah for his entire career and signed for us for £62,000. And with 13 goal involvements from 28 games, I'm pretty happy with how his debut season in Romania went, and given he's only 21, the future looks bright. Now, after winning 4 out of 4 of our pre-season friendlies, we felt pretty confident heading into the season. However, that confidence appeared to be misplaced as we managed only 1 point from our opening 4 matches, scoring just the once in the game against FCSB and falling down to 14th in the league table. This would, however, be the lowest position we were in all season. Recognising that our 4-3-3 formation wasn't working I changed to a 4-3-1-2 with a right winger and saw the immediate reward as we picked up our first 3 points of the season in a 1-0 home victory over UTA Arid. After a slight setback in our next league game against Politehnica Timisoara, where we could only manage a 1-1 draw, we won our next 4 games on the bounce, including a 1-0 victory over third place at the time, CFR Cluj, and a 4-1 after extra time win over FC Buzău in the 5th round of the Romanian Cup. David Min and Juris Medakovic were the standouts in this run of form, with Min scoring 4 and Medakovic scoring 2. A run of 3 games in 7 days must have been too much for us though, as we succumbed to a 2-0 defeat against struggling Universitatea Craiova in the next league match. An unbeaten October started with a victory in one of the Bucharest derbies at home to Rapid. This 2-1 win lifted us into the top 6 for the first time this season. A battling 0-0 draw with top of the table Farol Constanta would drop us back down to 8th, but we'd had a taste of the top 6 and weren't going to let it go that easy, as we followed up with a convincing 3-0 win over 7th placed FC Arges thanks to an Ameth Diatta hat-trick. An easy 4-0 victory at 3rd tier Sporting Liesti in the Cup was followed up by a narrow 1-0 win over 2nd place Sepsi and a less than convincing 4-2 win over bottom of the table Universitatea Cluj, where Ion Cipercea scored what ended up being voted Steaua's goal of the season. November was to end with 2 derbies in a row, the first a disappointing 2-0 defeat at home to struggling Dynamo, and the second a fantastic comeback from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 at home to title challengers FCSB. We started December by cementing our place in the semi-final of the Romanian Cup for the 2nd year running with a 3-0 victory over Botoșani and ended the month unbeaten following a 1-0 win over Voluntari, a 1-1 draw with Gazmetan Medias, a 3-1 win at UTA Arid, and a 2-1 win at home to Politehnica Timisoara. This all meant we headed into the winter break in a nosebleed-inducing 3rd place after 21 games. Apart from celebrating the festive season, our winter break was pretty quiet with only 1 transfer. Stefan Dragici left the club after 6 seasons, joining the club he'd been on loan at since January 2027, Shanghai Port, for £180,000. The season got back underway with a disappointing goalless draw at struggling Miavini, but we made sure we had our shooting boots on for the next 2 games as we beat CFR Cluj 4-0 and Universitatea Craiova 3-2 to take us up to 2nd in the league table with just 6 games of the regular season remaining. A shocking 4-0 defeat away to Botoșani ended the month of January and dropped us back down to 3rd. February began with a narrow 1-0 away win at Rapid Bucharest thanks to an Ameth Diatta goal, but that was followed up by a 1-0 defeat at home to title-chasing Farol Constanta. A win for us in this game could have really cemented us as title contenders. The month ended with 2 solid 2-0 wins over FC Arges and Sepsi, with Juris Medakovic scoring in both games. We ended our regular season with a 3-1 win away to bottom of the table Universitatea Cluj and confirmed our 3rd placed finish and our position in the Liga 1 Champions playoff for the first time. Could this finally be the season we get some form of European qualification? Our start to the Champions playoff campaign raised our hopes even more so as we beat top of the table Farol Constanta 3-0 and an Ion Cipercea hat-trick helped us beat Dynamo Bucharest 3-1 away from home, lifting us to the summit of the Liga 1 Champions playoff table. This would, however, unfortunately, be the final time we would find ourselves in that position, as we went on a run of 5 games without a win, picking up just the 1 point away to FC Arges. Surely we weren't about to throw away the chance of European qualification again. There was one positive in the midst of our poor run of league form as we defeated Universitatea Craiova 4-3 in the first leg of the semi-final. An alternative route to European qualification seemed possible if we were to throw away our league position. The month of May began, as many months seem to for us in Romania, with a derby away at FCSB, the side currently occupying 2nd place. We got off to a great start with Andrei Moldovan opening the scoring on the 21st minute, and it looked like FCSB had got an equaliser as Florentinas put the ball past Tomaniga, but this was brought back for offside. Mark Barahan and Oliver Casey put the game beyond doubt later in the second half, and even a late consolation goal from Ioannis Stoica couldn't dampen our spirits. Our backup plan for Europe was up next as we faced Universitatea Craiova in the 2nd leg of the Romanian Cup semi-final, and we knew that all we needed to do was avoid defeat, and we could be in the final. Things got off to a bad start though when Elvia Koljic opened the scoring for the home side, but a goal from Johnny Nzeti with around 20 minutes to go got us back on track. It looked like we'd done it and finally made it into the final, until Michael O'Neill scored a winner for Craiova on the 90th minute, meaning they went through to the final on the away goals rule. Our focus now had to be fully on the final 2 games of the league campaign against Sepsi and FC Arges. We had a 4-point advantage over 4th placed FC Arges heading into those 2 games and knew that a win against Sepsi would confirm a 3rd place finish. But like we always seem to do, we had to make things harder for ourselves and take it to the last game of the season, as we ended up drawing 0-0 with Sepsi. This meant it was winner take all in the final game of the season. It was us in 3rd place against 4th placed FC Arges. All we had to do was avoid defeat and we would qualify for the Europa Conference League. Our poor Champions playoff form continued as we only managed a 0-0 draw, but this meant we'd done it. We'd qualified for a European competition for the first time in this save, a major step towards the overall goal of the save. Looking ahead to next season, we are going to hopefully get some money to spend, as we will need to strengthen the side if we want to make it into the group stage of the Conference League. And I would ideally like to make Ion Chipercha's move permanent, however that will cost us £400,000 that I'm not sure we'll have. You'll notice I haven't mentioned our youth intake this season, that's because it was dreadful. Fortunately, my good standing with the board means that they have agreed to improve our youth recruitment, youth facilities and increase our junior coaching budget, so next year's intake will hopefully be a bit better. But that is it for this season. I hope you've enjoyed the new format. Please give this video a like if you have, and we'll be back with our debut season in European competition next time. Thanks for watching.